This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke, chapter 19, verses 11 to 31. The passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. While he had their attention, and because they were getting close to Jerusalem by this time, an expectation was building that God's kingdom would appear any minute, he told the story. There was once a man descended from a royal house who needed to make a long trip back to headquarters to get authorization for his rule and then return. But first he called 10 servants together, gave them each a sum of money, and instructed them, "Operate with this until I return." But the citizens there hated him. So they sent a commission with a signed petition to oppose his rule. "We do not want this man to rule us." When he came back bringing the authorization of his rule, he called those 10 servants to whom he had given the money to find out how they had done. The first said, "Master, I doubled your money." He said, "Good servant, great work. Because you've been trustworthy in this small job, I'm making you governor of 10 towns." The second said, "Master, I made a 50% profit on your money." He said, "I'm putting you in charge of 5 towns." The next servant said, "Master, here's your money safe and sound. I kept it hidden in the cellar. To tell you the truth, I was a little afraid. I know you have high standards and hate sloppiness and don't suffer fools gladly." He said, "You're right. I don't suffer fools gladly, and you've acted the fool. Why didn't you at least invest the money in securities so I would have gotten a little interest on it?" Then he said to those standing there, "Take the money from him and give it to the servant who doubled my stake." They said, "But master, he already has double." He said, "That's what I mean. Risk your life and get more than you ever dreamed of. Play it safe and end up holding the bag. As for these enemies of mine who petitioned against my rule, clear them out of here. I don't want to see their faces round here again." God's personal visit. After saying these things, Jesus headed straight up to Jerusalem. When he got near Bethphage and Bethany at the mountain called Olives, he sent 2 of the disciples with instructions. "Go to the village across from you. As soon as you enter, you'll find a colt tethered, one that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it. If anyone says anything, asks, 'What are you doing?' say, 'His master needs him.'" The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 19, verses 11 to 28. Jesus and his disciples are nearing Jerusalem. The disciples felt that the reign of God was about to appear. St. Luke, in the beginning of the Acts of the Apostles, tells us that they were hoping Jesus was about to restore the political kingdom of Israel. But the kingdom of Jesus was different from what they expected. Jesus uses a popular story of those days about Herod the king to speak about the kingdom that he was going to establish. In the parable of the nobleman going to a foreign land to get appointed as king, there is a reference to Herod Archelaus, who went to the emperor in Rome to be declared king of Judea and Samaria. But his 2 brothers and a delegation of key people from both Judea and Samaria opposed his move. When Jesus spoke this parable, his audience could immediately associate the story with the events of the past that they knew very well. Archelaus, the son of Herod the Great, had gone to Rome in the year 4 BC to get himself appointed king. On his return, he succeeded his father. Similarly, Jesus is soon to depart and in the future will return as king. During his absence, his servants are entrusted with the responsibilities. Before leaving, the king in today's parable gives 10 units of money to each of the 10 servants and tells them to invest the money until his return. In the narrative of Luke, all the tenants are given an equal amount to do business with. A major difference from the narratives in the other Gospels is that many people despised this master and did not want him as their king. In the same way, Jesus was soon to go away and return someday as king and judge. While he is away, his servants will be entrusted to care for their master's affairs, and many will reject him altogether. Today we are asked to reflect on the unique gifts that God has given to each one of us and how we are utilizing them, investing them. When we invest our riches, our talents in love of God and neighbor, we multiply our riches. Where do we invest our gifts and talents? The message is clear. The more we invest, the more we gain. We cannot stand still or be complacent with what we have. The only way to achieve is to let go, give, and share. It is not in accumulating, but in sharing that generates wealth. The wealth that really matters: freedom, security, and peace.